It's your place to be, where every dream's alive. From the court to the field, elevating those who strive. Yeah, 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 yeah. And light shining bright, we kicking off the scene. International Sports Network, you know what I mean. Interviews dropping gems like it's gold from the flow. Inspiration's contagious, let that motivation grow. Young stars rising, here they hustle in the air. Playing hard, training harder, cause they know it's rare. Every segment's packed with skills, passion and pride. A pebble of young athletes, we on this ride.
Think big, train big, play big, we breaking through. Elevating skills, building champions is what we do. Our passion needs potential, kids reaching new heights, unlocking their full potential, shining like city lights. Think big, train big, play big, we breaking through. Elevating skills, building champions is what we do. Our passion needs potential, kids reaching new heights, unlocking their full potential, shining like city lights.
Challenges on the grind.
Sponsored by the following.
Get your fix with ISN. Supported by MCR Insurance, don't stress it, Cristela protects it. Bar 37, the only place to watch your favorite sports.
Tu pasión y sabor.
The house for ISN live shows. Think big, train big, play big.
But we back on our feet. Each kid's a champion, feel that heartbeat.
All right, gentlemen.
Bring the heat to the floor.
Holy man, we got
Helping dreams to soar.
Killer on. We got Killer on now. What's up, Killer?
What's up, Coach?
Right there. What's up, Killer? Got Nine Toes on. Killer's on. Shoot, man, we got a full house. I'm like a half show right now. The hell. There we go. How you guys doing this evening?
Okay, good. About yourself?
Oh, good, man. Making it just one day at a time. No, we were in a hiatus, trying to get some stuff together. I know all three of us were taking care of some business, but we wanted to get back on tonight and just kind of get back in touch with what we've been talking about in the past. One thing I wanted to mention was, I know we're going with a lot of, old school lately. Some guys that have been there, done that, but I think it's important. So these young kids, these young bucks can hear what it's supposed to be like, to hear what it takes to be able to survive and to play at another level and be away from home, not have the comforts of home, know what to expect, because most of them don't. And that's what I've been finding out. I'm going to talk the truth. The last couple months, 3 months working with these kids, I found that out. They're not ready. They're not ready for the next level. And it's a number of things, and I think those need to be addressed so our kids can be more successful. And I know I've mentioned this before in the past, but any school that wants you is a good school. But at the same time too, we need to stay there. And that's a whole another mindset. What do you guys think?
Yeah, almost definitely. I mean, there have been a lot of videos out there, and like you said, a lot of bad techniques, bad ways of practicing, bad ways of teaching kids nowadays that they think that it's the proper way of teaching them, standing on hitting on, it's just a lot of miscommunication and missed things that not being done the proper way, though. And we need to like work on those things a lot.
Olaf?
I see it. Sorry, I'm kind of fix my camera a little bit. I see the same thing that Jaime sees. A lot of these parents, they're not going to the fundamentals, and I'm telling you and the reason why I get like, I hear you out at practice. I didn't understand it until you're explaining to me. And it's the same thing when I played soccer. We were taught the fundamentals first, and then we could go out there and perform. Uh, Back in the days, and I see it in soccer. I play goalkeeper, and some of the kids that are out there right now, they don't know how to land with their front foot forward and their hands forward when they're diving. You could just hear, and I see it at practice when we're out there with Iker and the boys. I could hear the goalkeepers actually land on their stomach, and it really hurts them. But the coach is not there, or the parents not there telling them, "Hey, I need you to do this." It's not. It's sometimes I want to help out, but I feel like some of these parents, not parents, I'm sorry, coaches take it offensive when you try to help them out. They think, oh, like this guy thinks he knows it all. But it's just an ego thing, coach, that we're seeing. And we see it with our kids, me and Jaime. Sometimes I see coaches they're not taking the time to learn, or they don't, or they just think they know it all. A lot of them think they know it all, and they don't want to listen to somebody
Well,
old school.
well, I look at it this, and I know I mentioned this to the boys when we had this 14U next gen, which were great kids. All of them have a lot of potential. But I mentioned to them, I said about plays and practice. Plays are easy. Plays, I can give you 50 plays and we can run them all day long, and you're going to remember most of them. You're going to memorize most of them. But plays aren't what makes it go. It's understanding how to put that play into play, basically. How to block in a certain play, how to tackle a certain play, how to pursue, how to make a tackle without making a tackle, how to pass protect, the right way, how to run block north and south, running backs, running north and south, hitting that hole and then bursting, in the open field. And that's not what's happening. It's, one of the things I told the boys, I said, do you want to, have a play work 50% of the time or 80% of the time? And the difference is learning how to, run that play, learning how to block with a different front, a four-man front, a three-man front, a five-man front, understanding your mechanics, understanding the whole scheme of it. Like I've said again before, and I'm going to say it probably another million times. It's chess, not checkers. So there's a lot that goes into it to be successful. You want to be like everybody else, or you want to be better than. And the difference is practice. Practice makes permanent. Deion Sanders says it best. Practice makes permanent. You know, that's how you dominate what you do outside of a game, outside of your regular practices to be better. And that's a mindset and it's a work ethic, and I think a lot of that is being missed. Not that they're not working, but to put in the right work, you know, and I think that's the biggest, deal that we're facing right now with the kids. Hey, what I want to do right now too, I want to mention we're going to have a young man come on. He's an old friend of mine. In fact, I started with him in arena ball in 2004. Was my first year in arena football professionally with the original RGB Dorados here in
Hmm.
Edinburgh, or excuse me, McAllen, Hidalgo, excuse me.
Hidalgo. Yeah.
Yeah, in Hidalgo, Rodney Blackshear. So Rodney's a former Texas Tech, skill guy. Went to camp with the Miami Dolphins, played many years in professional arena football at a high level, all pro in the arena world. He's also been a coach, in the college ranks professionally. And yeah, I want to bring him on the show. We want to talk about what he's been up to, what he's doing, some of the things that he's working on to bring the game and the game of flag football as well to the girls. And I know he's doing some great stuff right now, and I want to bring him on board to touch base on that and talk about some of these other things that we were just touching base on right now. So when we get back, we'll bring in Mr. Rodney Blackshear.
All right. We'll be right back.
Yes, I do.
Sponsored by the following.
Get your fix with ISN. Supported by MCR Insurance, don't stress it, Cristela protects it. Bar 37, the only place to watch your favorite sports.
Tu pasión y sabor.
The house for ISN live shows. Think big, train big, play big.
All right. We're back. There you go. I thought you were gone, brother.
There we go.
Nah,
Hey,
just,
I wanna,
I saw him also babysitting.
hey,
Almost I have to take care of my son.
I want to make sure, we thank VAR 37 for their support and Crisella at MCI Insurance. We appreciate them supporting us, and we always want to show them love because we're always welcome. And especially VAR 37, I hope a lot of people went out for the Super Bowl. It's a great place to watch some sporting events.
It
Nice
was actually really
atmosphere.
packed. It was packed on
It
Saturday.
was.
He had a lot of it was packed on Saturday.
Yeah.
That day was really, even though the game was boring, the guy Paco, Paco the main owner, he did a hell of a job of marketing, and he had a lot of things for the kids and a lot of good things they did that day. Even though, like I said, the game wasn't all that, but he made sure the halftime show, they had everything. So
Right.
overall, for him, it went really well. So
Well, didn't they have Bad Bunny's cousin there?
No, I don't know about that one, Coach.
I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Just messing with you. I thought you were there.
No, I was at
No?
my sister's house, but
Oh,
most of the
okay.
kids, everyone was kind of playing games in their phone. That's how bad it was. But the thing is, Coach, that's what you're talking about. They play fundamental football. The
Yeah.
Seahawks did, and all they did is just score. Yeah, and they
Defense
blocked
wins
the play.
championships. Yeah, defense wins championships, man.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's kind of what they did. They just
Yes,
played
sir.
fundamental football.
Well, wanted to get hope Mr. Blackshear's on. Rodney, we got you on here.
He's ready to go. Let me bring him in.
Bring in Mr. Blackshear.
There you go. Where do you go?
There he is, the
All
West
right.
Texas legend. The West Texas legend. How you doing,
man,
Mr.
you know how it
Blackshear?
is.
Coach,
I'm blessed, man. How you guys doing?
doing good. man.
Good.
Good.
Hey, these are my partners, Olaf and Jaime. Jaime, this is Rodney
Oh,
Blackshear, man.
hi,
Good
man.
friend of mine.
Nice to meet you, brothers. Nice to meet you. Can you
Nice
guys
to
hear me
meet you.
okay?
Yeah, you're perfect, brother.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
Good, man. Rodney, I appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely.
It's
Appreciate
a
you
little
guys.
show that we do. Yes, sir. No, thank you. It's a little show that we do a little bit here and there just to kind of get the word out on things, special events, talking about, sports, things that are going on locally and, in Mexico. And just to touch on some of those things and hopefully give some people some insight, that they may be looking for and answer some questions if they have questions,
Yeah.
But I definitely appreciate you. I'm gonna, I've mentioned a little bit earlier before you got on, your background,
Mhm.
being a stud at Texas Tech, wide receiver, correct?
Old school. Yes, wide receiver and kicker
Yes,
trainer.
yes, sir. And big old Red Raider and
Go
kick
Raiders.
returner,
Yes, sir.
and we spent a little bit of time with the Miami Dolphins and playing a lot of professional arena football where you did very well. And we wanted to bring you on. I know you're doing some other big things too. And wanted to bring you on and wanted to mention or something that we talked about the other day was about what you're doing with the girls right now on the college level
Yes.
in the flag
Mhm.
football. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so about 2-3 years ago, one of my nieces in Houston decided to play flag football for a school, and I've always trained kids. I've always tried to help kids get into college. And at that time, not many schools were actually offering scholarships, but so I went out of my way, going back and forth to Houston. I live here in Dallas, and so I would drive home and train her over the summer breaks, over spring break and Christmas break. Just trying to help her get better. And I was trying to come up with some ways I realized that there was something missing as far as the girls are concerned with the recruiting. Right now, most of the schools are NAIA Division III. There's some Division II schools, but Mark, you know as well as I do. A lot of times, those scholarships aren't full scholarships.
Right.
A majority of the time, they're academically based. It's still an athletic scholarship, but the opportunity to play will be presented to you, but you have to be academically sound. So from my time being I was a head coach at Texas College for about a year and a half. It's an NAIA school in Tyler. And I did a lot with admissions. I learned a lot while there. Going from Division I recruiting, the money is there. Division II, NAIA, Division III, you really got to figure out a way to get the right type of students on your campus. So long story short, one of my good players that played from your quarterback, Larry Dockery, he's the athletic director at McMurray. And I saw that they were starting girls football in 2027. So I've reached out to him, and he's going to endorse me to help get girls opportunities to play football, flag football here in America, South Texas and Mexico. Me and my family, we've talked about moving down to Mexico in the past couple of years, and we're looking to make that dream a reality come August. And so I wanted to connect with as many of those young ladies, 8th grade and above, that are getting ready to go to high school, that are interested in, I'm basically trying to be a pathway to those colleges in the American Southwest Conference. Just found out actually 2 days ago. I'm not sure if you know Ernest Wilson, Mark, but he played at, he's older than me, but he was at Tech. He coached with Hal Mummy at New Mexico State, and he's been a bunch of places. Temple. Anyway, as a coordinator, athletic director at different schools, Elizabeth College. Well, he's in Ohio right now, Wilberforce University, and they're starting girls flag football, and he's looking for players.
Oh, wow.
So
that's great.
As I've been talking to different people, they all, none of these schools have a budget to really go out and recruit a lot of kids. But having said that, obviously the kids over in Mexico have been kicking butt in girls flag. South Texas has some girls that are very talented. So I don't want to try to spread myself out too far. I want to hit an untapped market, so to speak. And clearly, when I was at Texas College, we had a bunch of different unique opportunities, pathway for foreign students to come on campus and get a free education. Academic money, of course, but it's still a free education.
Right.
So I wanted to bring those opportunities to student athletes that are wanting to come to America and play flag football. What I see the long-term success for this will be once these schools, the bigger Division I schools, start bringing in football, they're going to do what they always do. They're going to pull from the lower levels. So the best thing to do is prepare yourself to get here now, even if it costs you a little money to go to the academically based schools and go make a name for yourself. And more than likely, those schools will pull you because that's what they always do. They want people that are already ready to play.
Yeah, they're going to use you guys as feeders. The NAIA Division III, II, they're going to use as feeder schools, so they get girls that are already ready to go.
Yep, they're using them as testing ground. Basically, is the way I see it. Based on the conversations I've had with some of the coaches that I do know. And again, like I said, it's just opportunity. Nothing more, nothing less. I talked to you about it before, Mark. My biggest thing is I always try to bring value to anywhere I'm at. I'm not trying to go to Mexico and take anybody's job. I'm just trying to go there and help people. I'm going to, with the fees or whatever we may charge, we were going to give back to each program that brings girls to us so that they can continue to build their program. And, we just want to make an opportunity for people that may not always have that, because, as well as I do in recruiting, you can send your film all day. If you don't have somebody that they know that can vouch for you sometime, unless you're a star player, then you're going to get overlooked.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah.
Did you? I think we when we talked the other day, you mentioned about you actually are coming to the Valley for an event.
Yes, actually, the Pinnacle Sports Foundation, Henry Gomez, excuse me. He's Abel's. I said Gonzalez. He's Abel's. We all quarterback Abel. That's his cousin.
Yeah.
So they have their own nonprofit, and we're looking to put on a combine April 18th weekend, maybe 25th. We're still trying to work on the venue, but we're actually going to do a combine type deal. I'm going to try to bring the coach from McMurray. We're going to talk in the morning. He may come down. I'm trying to get my buddy from Wilberforce. I want to bring at least 2 of those college coaches down, and we do just a traditional combine type workout, sign people up, and give them opportunity.
If you
to
want
be
to,
seen as coaches.
right, if you want to get together after this, we can talk about. I may have a venue for you already in mind. If
Okay,
you guys
yeah,
want to.
yeah, they can get. We were trying to see if we can get UTRGV. I reached out to Coach Bush today. I know that they may be in spring ball. That's the
Yeah,
reality. In
yeah, they're
April,
starting.
they'll probably be in spring ball. So, we're not sure how big of a turnout it's going to be. We're going to try to reach out to the kids and from as far west as Laredo, all the way up to
Right.
Corpus, and any of the kids from Mexico that may, that come across to play sports anyway. How we can get that reach out? They're going to help with the advertising, and they're basically helping me get this thing going because they believe in some of the things I've done in the past. I've come down and spoken to the youth several times, and I always talk about the educational aspect because that's the reality. In anything, I've had my own nonprofit since about 2012. And what I always do is I use it was education through sports. I no longer do it, but what I did is I tried to make sure I introduce the kids, but more importantly, the parents to the application process because unfortunately, ignorance is the reason a lot of kids don't get a chance to go anywhere. They may have a limited ability, their grades may be okay, but if they don't know the steps that it takes, starting as really an 8th grader going into the 9th grade and beyond, it's steps to take to get to where you want to go, and it's not that complicated.
Right.
It's
And
really
we've had this conversation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, we've had this conversation with a lot of people, especially lately when it comes to that, because I mean, hell, you're Old South Conference like I am.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That was the Wild Wild West back then.
Oh my goodness, yes, those were some good days.
TCU, Texas Tech, Texas, all those,
Mhm.
Arkansas. But it's a different mindset. It's a different
Mhm.
work ethic. And we talk about the kids don't have that for whatever reasons, that mindset for that level and the work ethic is not there. Not to mean they're not working. It's just
Yeah,
a
they don't know
different
how.
type
They
of
just don't know how to work.
yeah, it's a different type of work, right?
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
it's not glitz and glamour training. It's hard work, busting your ass,
hmm
nobody that needs to be watching you type of
Yeah,
workouts.
you don't always have to post it to be seen because, like, one of the
Exactly.
things that I'm going to do that I've done with kids as well is help with their video distribution. I'm gonna have them send me video. I'll edit it myself because again, I know what I've been a college coach. I know what they're looking for at each position,
Right.
and I'll basically let them know, hey, even though you got all these great plays, the thing they're looking for is consistency at the position that you
Yeah.
play. Certain steps that you have to do. And you can be a person that makes a lot of big plays, but if you're also busting the assignments or not doing what you're supposed to do, that's going to hurt them long term. And these coaches don't want to get fired. So I want to teach kids how to not only get into school, but stick around and
Let
make
me
them
ask you this
understand what
question.
they do.
I'm
Yes,
sorry.
sir.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Are you finished? I apologize. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, yeah, no,
Okay.
I'm good. Yeah.
So your thoughts on the way we used to work back in the day
hmm
to the way the kids work now. What's the difference? Another guy that's been there, done that,
hmm
not just me, because they hear it from me all the time. It's like,
Yeah.
your father telling you that, right? You don't
Oh,
listen to
yeah.
him. But if
Yeah.
you get somebody else to say it, you know,
I got a good story. So what you're talking about, how a kid won't listen to the father. Well, Anthony Lynn, that was my head coach. He was a head coach for the Chargers. Now he's coaching with the Commanders.
Chargers. Yeah,
I
man.
me and Anthony were roommates when his son Danton Lynn, who's now the DC at USC. And so when Anthony was coaching at Cowboys in 05, 06, I was coaching at University of Houston, coaching receivers. Now Anthony had been an NFL coach for about 7 years, and I'd only been a college coach maybe 2-3 years at the time. And his son wouldn't listen to him about certain stuff. He was like, "Well, you don't know nothing about receiver. You need to call Uncle Black, right?" So here
right.
I am talking to an NFL coach's son about technique that his dad was telling him. He said, "Well, my dad told me that, but I didn't believe him." So just think about those type. He's a kid now that's a coach, in college and
Right.
could potentially be an NFL coach. So the kids just they don't want to hear it. But the reality, this is my biggest take, is nobody pays attention to the little things, the details, the sports IQ. You got to learn the game. not only at your position, but every position on the field, so that you can become better. And that's in every sport. When I train kids with Darren and some of the guys that he has, our buddy Darren Deloach, he's a sports agent. A lot of times I'm assuming he does the same with you, Mark. He have you talk to certain players about certain things because the reality, even on the college level, a lot of these coaches, they're not coaching the players anymore. They're just coaching offense.
Right.
They want to find a better player now, especially if you don't get the job done. They just go send you, hey, go find a spot. That's why that portal is so full. It's not because the kids want to leave. They have no choice. They're told that you're no longer needed here. So if you're not bringing value to that team, to that college or whatever it may be, then they're gonna replace you. And so now for those flag, the time is now to get in, understand what's expected, to have a mental edge, because physically, again, everybody looks great. You see videos all the time of great players, but when you sit and, as I'll be doing, watching players and evaluating how they interact with their teammates, Coach Brownfield, I'm gonna look at this. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna read the text message that I asked Coach Brownfield, what does he want out of his players? And so I'm just gonna kind of read it. What he said, or his words, not mine. He was saying, we're looking for players that their personality, they want to be in a family-oriented environment, very coachable. That's the key, very coachable. Let's see, we do academic scholarships, and it ranges from, X amount of dollars based on your transcript and GPA. So, and that's most of the schools, right? But you think that because I'm a baller, boys and girls, that I'm going to get what I want. No, you have to be fundamentally sound. You have to be a part of a community. You have to be coachable, and your grades matter. Yeah. And they need to hear that early, not in ninth grade. Excuse me, not in 11th to 12th grade. They need to start hearing this when they're transitioning from 8th grade to high school. Right. Your grades can get you. There's 85% more academic money than athletic money in all college sports. 85%.
Well, they don't realize they think athletic money is athletic money just from they get it, just it pops out of nowhere, right? And there's athletic money. They don't realize that when you're looking at the lower level schools, especially Division III, that's a lot of federal money, grants, and things like that, right? They may have some academic from this or that, a few boosters that throw some money here and there, but the majority of it is federal money. So when they bring all those kids in there, if you leave, they're okay with it because they're just going to replace you. So they still make that money.
Exactly.
Yeah. But if you go Division I, I said that money is from donors. There's from alumni. They're money that they're putting in the coffers. So they got to make sure whoever they bring in is going to stay there. I mean, they're not always right.
Yeah, coaching jobs. I can't tell you how many conversations I've had with coaches, as even now. Again, what I'm saying, the opportunity for kids to be when you bring the kid in, if you don't fit a certain bill, they're gonna cut you loose. And even now, most schools, the coaches don't even get to recruit the kids they want. They have those bigger schools, they have a GM and he chooses everything. So the coach's job is just the coach the guy. Like I said, and I say coach really coach the system. We're gonna find you the players, and if that player doesn't fit, we're gonna get rid of it. And so they have to have a plan, and that plan is an academics-based plan that your athletic ability opens the doors for you, but your academic ability keeps you there. And so that's kind of what I was going to do. Again, having been a college coach at that level, being able to help those kids and those parents. More importantly, you really need to educate the parents, and that's what I don't think. We're still talking. But yeah, so I was going to try. That's my ultimate goal with Blackshear Sports Academy is to offer a service that most people can't give because they haven't really experienced it. They may have a relationship with the coaches, but I've been on both sides of it as far as a recruiter, as far as a college coach, and obviously just with my nonprofit helping kids understand and navigate where they need to go in order to get an opportunity to go play college sports.
Right. No, exactly. Can you guys hear me? I had lost you for a minute.
Yeah,
you can hear me.
We see your picture.
I froze. Yeah, but that's all right. I'm better that way.
That's a better side right there.
The thing is, like I said, I say it over and over, but coming from me, I'm from here. I'm a local guy, and it's like, yeah, whatever. But They need to hear it from guys like yourself that aren't from here. And that's what we try to
Mhm.
do, is bring guys at your caliber to explain to them, that
Yeah,
this is for real. It's a business, you know.
100%.
Um, and if those big schools don't know about you by the time you're eighth or ninth grade, then that window
Yeah,
starts getting
yeah, yeah.
smaller and smaller and smaller, you
And
know.
in the reality now, again, if back in the day, 3-star kids had tons of options. Now, if you're not a 4 or 5-star, you may not even go to the college you want to go to. You may have to just go to
No,
your 4th or 5th choice if you're lucky.
it's yeah, it's going to be
Because
JUCO and three and division
yeah,
and NAIA in Division three.
yep,
You know,
the kids that are
um,
considered pretty great players because they got guys that are they're a proven commodity now, and that's
yeah,
the way it's where boys football is going. That's why I'm saying with the girls, they go ahead and get ahead of the curve, do what they need to do, get the right training, get with the right programs. More importantly, stay academically sound so that when it's time to move on, they're ready for it, as opposed to getting somewhere and then kind of falling off the map. And when somebody wants to come pull you or pluck you from that program, they can't because you're not academically ready.
exactly. And and the like we talk about not only the academic part of it, but the mindset of it. And I'm going to bring something up. I had a conversation with somebody the other day. They were talking to a head coach, a college basketball head coach, Division
Mm-hmm.
One university, and that coach believed in bringing in locals, right?
Yep.
And he actually had two or three very great basketball players that were local that he brought
Mm-hmm.
on the team. He scholarship. They quit on him, and the
Wow.
reason they quit because they couldn't handle how they were treating them, how hard they were on them, how much they pushed
Mm-hmm.
them and they drived them, that they thought they were getting picked on.
Yeah.
And that's the mindset, that we're here in the Hispanic communities, South Texas, that a
Mm-hmm.
lot of our kids, they're not ready for. I mean, and it's everywhere. I mean, when I was at TCU, we had a
Mm-hmm.
guy that was an all-stater from a Division three school, the 3A school there
Mm-hmm.
I think he was out of North Texas. He left in the middle of the night
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because
I've seen it too.
he realized that there's another 10 all-staters there in the
That's
same
right.
position,
Yep.
you know, and
And
he couldn't handle it.
yep. And so I'm trying to piggyback off what you said. So, I know Robert Ford, Coach Ford.
Yeah,
He coached with the Cowboys, coached 18 years in the NFL. He's the guy that recruited me to Tech, and he's actually coaching with me with the professional team out of Midland, the Tall City Black
right,
Gold. And today we were at UFL practice. We was watching the Gamblers and Coach Sumlin, and then Coach Redmond and the Louisville team, and we was
right,
watching practice. And we were talking to one of his buddies, and he's explaining to him about me, and I already knew this, but it was great to hear it from him. And he said, "Yeah, when Blacksher came to Tech, he was pretty athletic, but the thing that separated him was he knew how to work, and he didn't bust any assignments. He knew what everybody's job was, and
right.
that's what kids don't. You have to do more than everybody else. You can't come in thinking that you're the star, because yeah, you were a star, but if you don't come in with a certain mindset that's helped separate yourself and put yourself in a position to be successful, that's when you fall off. And some people can't handle it mentally because you expect to be treated the way you were in high school, and that's just not the case.
No, I mean, like I was coaching this 14U All-Star team this year it's the sixth year that they've had this East-West deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going ballistic because a lot of these kids, they don't, and I know they don't use the route tree like they used to back in the day,
Yeah, no, they don't.
but
They don't.
they don't know their fundamentals. The kids didn't know how to run a dig or an out or a flip. They had these different verbiages for it,
Mm-hmm.
but the basic fundamental is your route tree. The
Yep.
fundamental aspect is understanding your holes, your numbers, which is also basic fundamentals, but you should at least know those that'll help you with those building blocks. But because they take those shortcuts, they don't know.
Yeah, my first year coaching high school was in 2012, and we had a kid. Well, the offense they ran. I was coaching DBs, and the coaches on my staff, they didn't want me on the offensive side. I'm the only black coach. They didn't want me over there, and
Oh,
they
you say
called
that
me.
still exists?
Oh yeah, it still exists. Hey, Coach Ford was telling me some stories about the NFL today. Man, it's bad. for the nerdy coaches. It's bad, and that's
Hey, I'm
for
still
me
waiting to get
personally.
I'm still waiting to get deported. Fuck.
Yeah, me too. I'm trying to beat them. Yeah. Like Sammy
You
Sosa,
want
they
no,
send me back.
but you want a free ride. That's what you want. The deportation
Yeah,
free
get me
ride.
on over there. Yes. Put me
Well,
some free
Coach,
hours.
I do have a question for you. I think I noticed too a lot of these people, and it happens in basketball a lot. They're focused more on analytics as coaches. They're looking for
Yep.
more analytics than actually fundamentals. There's a coach that got some analytics guy got fired, or a coach. So it was a coach that they hired for some team. They're saying ESPN. He told the owner that he had won the game because of analytics, but they had lost the playoff game,
Yeah.
and they fired him the next day in the morning
Because
because he was worried more about analytics and really about coaching. They told him, no, we won the game, but we lost the series. He's like, no, but we won because of analytics. And I was like, what? I've never heard of that before. So I guess
I'm
people
telling
are
you,
focusing more on
what
analytics
happens
now.
is they're hiring a lot of coaches that have never really been in the fire, and what I mean is they may have played or not, but they never learned. And like Mark says, and maybe it's us just being old, but they never learned the old way of doing things. My example, if you talk to right now, probably 80% of the receivers coaches in America, they can't really teach you how to run a route. Just like he was talking about. They can teach you coverage a little bit. They can tell you where to run to, but they can't teach you how to get open on a route. When I work, I've trained guys that played high school football and played college football, and when they came to see me, and I'm a receiver by trade, I'm a receivers coach by heart, and I'm talking basic knowledge, and they don't understand anything I'm saying. I have to go back to as if I was a pre-K kid teaching them route running, and it's sad.
Yeah.
Do you actually think it's because of 7-on-7 thing that kids are
Part of it.
focusing? Yeah, because I mean, and it's all hype. I see it on Facebook. I see it in all these things. And see, me and Jaime can tell you the same thing too, because we both have young kids. Our kids are 7 years old, but we noticed that instead of them having them blocking, which is one of the most important, the engine of the car, and doing this, some of these coaches rather go to these local leagues to play 7-on-7, but they're not really running the routes. They're cherry picking the talent. Making an elite team. Oh yeah, we won, but you're just cherry picking.
And
You're
they're
not
not
really
developing anybody.
exactly.
You are so right. They'll go out like for example, I'm gonna give you what I do. I don't ever train top-notch athletes. I train guys that are borderline okay to maybe really good, and I prepare them to move on to the next level. I have about right now 8 receivers, 2 linemen that I've trained in the last 5 years that all went on to play walk on or otherwise at least Division 1, or I mean at least Division 3 or higher. And they're all successful in the classroom because I prepared them for certain things, not just being a football player.
Yeah, the mindset of it. It's like when I train my boys or I get new ones, and I said, I'm not training you for Friday night. I'm training you for Saturday and Sundays. The
So
mentality and the
I want to
mindset.
post right here real quick. I'm
Or,
sorry, Coach.
I mean,
I'm
the
going to post
coaches were
right here
upset.
my little chat that we have.
Go through the process with them again, which
Yeah.
is crazy. They don't, unless you're the star guy, when you get assigned to a big program, if you're going to a Division 3, they don't want to talk about it because they got to set up the tables and do all those things. It was crazy. But that's how some of the coaches think. They don't care about the players. They just care about the program.
Yep.
Coach, I'm sorry. We have a question here that says, it's asking, what's the biggest mistake a young man makes when given an opportunity to play at the highest level that gets them off the program?
Not taking care of their grades and not studying their playbook. What happens when you especially now, if
Okay, I think we lost
That's
him.
like a good question.
We lost him.
We lost coach.
Yeah.
Well, he'll get back on. You give him a minute.
Yeah.
Did you get him back on?
No, I don't see him yet.
I don't know why mine froze. I mean, I guess I look better that way, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, you actually look like a young Denzel.
Easy. There he comes. No, that's Olaf.
No, that's Olaf went off. Okay, turn off
Let
Instagram.
me send him a message.
No, I get something else.
Listen, most of the coaches want kids already to know what to do. It's not in 7-on-7, not really shows fundamentals.
Hold on, let me.
Where is it?
I'm sending him a message real quick.
Okay. Well, yeah, let's take a quick break while we wait for him to come back. Let's
Okay,
let's
sounds
do a
good.
call with the sponsors and we'll come back.
Yeah, and then we'll come back with the question again.
Sponsored by the following.
Get your fix with ISN. Supported by MCR Insurance, don't stress it, Cristela protects it. Bar 37, the only place to watch your favorite sports.
Tu pasión y sabor.
The house for ISN live shows. Think big, train big, play big.
All right. I guess we're back now. There's what happened to coach?
Yeah,
He dropped off.
he's getting
Okay, here we
himself
go.
back on.
Yeah, here we go. We have him back again. Let me bring him in. Here we go.
Can y'all see me? Oh yeah, you can see me. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I apologize, but what I was saying about the biggest mistake is when kids are unfortunately sometimes when you're not playing as much as you like or do other things, you kind of check out. You start looking for other programs, and it's just like when you're in a relationship, marriage type deal. You're cheating on your wife, and it's going to get you sent home or not have opportunity to play anywhere.
Yeah, it follows
Okay.
you. It follows you.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
follows you
and
because
that's why you see guys trying to play 7, 8 years and going to all these different teams.
yeah, I mean it's coaches talk to each other. You know, I
Oh, I
mean
mean,
even
it's a fraternity. It is.
yeah, even in our level, you know, the arena level, playing in that level,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we get guys that are well, you know this, that have 5 teams in 5 years because they can't handle their business.
Yeah, yep.
You know, and
Yep.
it's the same thing at that level, especially. So these boys and girls don't learn it early. They're gonna have problems.
I agree.
You
Yes,
also
sir.
too, Coach. We also, I tell Coach Lozano, I've told the people, we also have a bunch of high school heroes that think they know it all,
Yep.
and you're trying to explain to the coach tries to explain to them like, hey, you know, this is the right way, and it has to do a lot with the parents.
Oh
I
yeah,
could see it. It
that's
has
why
to
I
do
said
with the
what I
parents.
said.
They all want to be running backs. They all want to be the star, and it's hard. Like even Herman could tell you, our sons are linemen, and there's no linemen. I have a bunch of like 3 14s asking for my son because there's no
Mm-hmm.
line. Everyone wants to be a running back. Everyone wants to be a
Yep.
receiver. They want to be a quarterback. If one doesn't run the ball, they take it personal. So it's especially here we see it a lot every weekend. And it after a while you kind of get disappointment instead of helping. Now you just kind of want to be a parent, just do your thing and just move on.
Yep. And that is so true. You get parents, again, Texas College. I keep bringing that up because it was one of my hardest jobs. I learned a lot. I had quarterbacks that weren't very good. A lot of these guys didn't really even play in high school. Parents yelling from the sideline, "You should put my son in," and blah blah blah. And I don't even know these kids. I just got the job, so I'm asking my assistant coach, "Who's his son?" They'll tell. I say, "Put him in the game." Right? I'll put him in the game. They make a mistake, and I'll just point at them and point back. "That's your son, right? Yeah, come on back out
Yeah,
here." You see why
get
he's
it.
not playing, and it's tough.
Put
Like I said,
your
because everybody thinks their son is the guy, but you got to realize you have to be a role player sometimes.
yeah.
The great teams have great role players that do what they're supposed to do until it's their time to play.
Most sometimes that's the most important role in a team is that role player,
100%.
the one
I
that you
tell
can
people all
count
the time.
on. Yeah, the one that you can count on to play 2 or 3 positions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but they don't look at it that way. Everybody wants to be the star.
Yeah, but that's like I say, you have too many stars and not enough guys that going to do the grunt work, and especially like I say, for me personally, it's all about the lineman.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, I'm a receiver, but we are a dime a dozen in today's sports world.
Yes,
It's
sir.
reality.
Yeah, but
Yes,
that's the
sir.
lineman. I go for the Chargers, and And I saw the guy. My dad was like, "Oh yeah, the quarterback didn't do anything." I go, there was 4 guys after him because he had no line. You're looking at a ton of 4 guys that probably 300 pounds after you. That's
Yep.
1,200 pounds that wants to knock you down. And he him with the broken arm. Like, well,
Mhm.
that's that, and he was running for his life like a poor guy. Like, without the blocking, there is just no.
Yeah.
It's total different ball game.
Yep. And that, and some, again, people that don't understand, unfortunately.
So, hey, wanted to ask you too. So, you got this new venture going on in the Continental Football League, which is a new
Yeah.
professional developmental league, right?
Yes, sir.
You guys are in Midland. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I have a question. Where in the hell did you get that name?
Okay. Hey, happy you asked. So I got the shirt on. TC Black Gold, Tall City Black Gold. It's a West Texas thing. So
Right,
Midland is halfway between Dallas and El Paso,
right.
the largest city between Dallas and El Paso. They have the tallest buildings. So that's why they
Ah,
call it
okay.
the city. The black gold is the oil. Everybody
Well,
knows
yeah, I
Midland
know. I
is
knew.
known
Yeah,
for oil. And
yeah.
so it's a ton of businesses there that are called Tall
Right,
City this,
right,
Tall City that. So yeah,
right,
it's a part of it. It's a tradition in that community.
right. Yeah, no, I had gotten the black gold part. I just didn't know where the tall city had come from.
Yeah, just because of there's nothing else. You already know there's nothing else out there. It's all flatlands.
Well, tumbleweeds. You could
Yeah,
have
yeah.
been the
Oh yeah.
tumbleweeds.
Oh, it's funny. And again, going to Texas Tech,
Yeah,
every coach that was recruiting me was telling me, don't go to Lubbock. When you get there, you're gonna see tumbleweeds like the Road Runner,
yeah,
right? So I thought they were just talking. I'm a
right.
17-year-old kid. Man, don't you know? As soon as I get off the plane and we drive from the airport, the first thing I think is 3 tumbleweeds. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's true. Dang, 3 tumbleweeds. And coming from Houston, Texas, that's a big difference. So yeah, it was
Oh
funny.
heck yeah! You're not seeing no tumbleweeds in Houston.
Nah. Now you go see something much worse. But God, it was crazy.
How
It was
how's
great
it
though.
go?
I love it.
When do y'all start the season?
We start in May.
In
Training
May.
camp starts May 9th. We have a tryout here in Dallas, Texas at DeSoto High School this Sunday from 11 to 2. Then the following Saturday, May 7th, we have one in Midland. But the reality is a lot of these arena leagues, and again, I'm going to the UFL practices. A lot of guys are starting training camp, so with us getting a little bit of a later start, uh, announcing me as the head coach, the numbers for the trials won't be like we would expect them to be, which is fine. The good thing is we start so late, we'll be able to pull guys from
Right,
other
they
teams,
get cut.
or closer to the end of the season. If guys aren't winning and they're going to the playoffs, we pay more money than they do. So
Right.
they'll come see us. We're paying 400 a game. Our quarterbacks make 750 a game. We got housing, and we'll have meals. Not every team can do that, and
So
that's
you're
tough.
still looking for positions.
Yes, sir. Yeah. And I got to come
Okay.
through. I got guys that have committed to me that won't sign yet because they're on teams. But
Right.
we're definitely looking to fill the roster up. We'll bring in 50 to training camp. We'll carry 36.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
who else in Texas is in the league? It's this the Syndicate San Antonio,
Yeah,
the
Syndicate
Toros,
is Austin. Syndicate is Austin.
Austin. Okay, there's so
Toros is
Humphreys and
San
Austin,
Antonio. Then there's
and
us.
then
Then they have the team in Wheeling, West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Uh, then they
Coach
have
Manny.
Coach Matt Sakis, who I coached with at Tech as well.
Yeah.
Then they have Cincinnati. Then they just announced Detroit, and I think they're announcing another team. I saw today up north, and they're trying to get another team down south. I kind of heard the city. I can't say the city yet, but yeah, they're trying to announce 2 more teams, so we'll have 8 teams.
So South is in Texas or South is in Alabama?
No, Texas, like
Texas.
the West Division. So we're the
Right.
Western Division, which is basically all Texas teams,
Right.
and Eastern is West Virginia, Cincinnati, and right now Detroit.
Man, they're gonna put another team in that quick.
That's that. I mean, they just announced Detroit like a couple of days ago. It's probably going to be a team that's kind of already put together.
Right.
Probably
But
found some.
you got San Antonio too, the Toros with
Yeah.
Bedwell, Stan.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. They have Gary Glanville as the D coordinator.
I saw that.
They got
They said
Marcus Coleman.
they had a young mind coming in.
Yeah.
Gary Glanville, the new young mind at defensive coordinator.
Yeah, he's gonna be blitzing the hell out of us. I already know it's
That
coming.
boy's 100 years old.
Heck yeah. And then they got Marcus Coleman, who was at UTRGV, played at Tech. I
Right.
kind of hate that I lost him. I didn't realize that he had left
Oh, he
UTRGV.
did. I didn't realize that either.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
left.
I found out when they announced him. I was like, man, what you doing? He said, I didn't know you was there. So
Wow.
otherwise, I would probably had him as my D coordinator.
Wow. 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 That's interesting. I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I had met a couple of the coaches at UTRG because they actually worked with. I think one of them played for my old coach, Jimmy Gonzalez. Coach Jimmy was at TCU recruited when I was being recruited, and coach at Notre Dame. He coached at Tech, Oklahoma State, Notre Dame, Wisconsin, Army, Texas. He was there with Makovic.
Okay.
So I got to meet a couple of coaches, and then I know Travis. You know, his daddy
Yeah,
coach was a
yeah,
head
yeah,
coach here in the Valley when I was
yeah.
playing.
Yep.
Coach Bush. But shoot, there was something else I was going to mention. Oh, yeah. So I want to tell you a little story about when we were talking about mentality, right? So
Mm-hmm.
last year we have a collegiate all-star game, Senior Bowl in Chihuahua,
Yep.
Chihuahua. And so I had Coach Mazzoni was the head
Yeah, yeah,
coach,
yeah.
and Coach Keenan, right, Les?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah. So Coach Keenan joined us, and this man, both of them are great guys, legends in their
Mm-hmm.
positions. Coach Keenan's coached D'Amico Ryan and Dan Campbell and Dak
Mm-hmm.
Prescott and those guys. And he's old school. He's like us, right? We grew up.
Yep.
I mean, he's a little older, but old school coach.
Yeah,
So
mentality.
we have these kids, these young bucks, 23, 24, 25-year olds, and we're practicing. And Coach Keenan goes off, and he goes, "What are y'all, bunch of dumbasses?" And they had this look on their face. And then Leo
Yeah.
Goose is with us. Leo's doing special teams. Leo, he kicked for the Raiders, and he's from
Uh-huh.
here, right? So
Yeah, yeah, I know those.
Leo and I turn around, and look at each other, and we just go, "Oh man, the good old days."
Yeah, yeah,
When you
that's
can
what
call
that's hey, yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. I mean, you have to get the
exactly.
lead. Yeah.
You sound like an alien, coach.
Sounding I
You
can barely
sounding
hear
like an
you.
alien.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's your phone, coach.
That's your phone, coach.
Hold up, say something.
Yeah, you guys sound fine.
Okay, that's him. That's him then. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was my phone. You have to switch.
Like, coach, get out and come back in.
Was that him or us?
Yeah, it was him. That always
Okay.
happens.
Okay, I'm
It
like,
always
man.
happens all the time. It happens
Yeah,
all the time.
yeah. I'm in my back house, so my internet sometime I have my laptop first. It doesn't always stay on, but man, like I said, I appreciate you guys allow me to jump on because, like I say, my thing is, again, I'm trying to do something that's going to benefit a community that needs it. I know a lot of times kids don't always get recruited like they need to, or even just having the opportunity to have those coaches around. And with Flag, they're trying to, I'm fortunate to know these guys, and they're trying to leave no stone unturned. Again, they don't have the budget to do what I'm able to do for them just because I'm here. And so I'm trying to create something that hopefully can definitely those girls.
It's still, coach. You still sound horrible. Sound like a squirrel.
Yeah.
That always happens. But coach, another thing too. But what do you think of these INL deals? Kids. I feel like some of these kids aren't committed. They
Oh,
just one day and it kind of bothers me because all these all these schools are going out of their way, to get you and to convince you. They make you go to the university, and then all of a sudden you do a great season, then you're going somewhere else.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, then that, and then like the Indiana thing, they're saying, oh yeah, well they won it, but their average age was 23 years old.
Mm-hmm. No, it's different.
So
I was talking to one of the guys whose son played at Tech that I know, and he was just a regular, basic money NIL guy, so to speak. And he was like, man, it was tough because he's telling me his son said I was sitting there, Dad, and they was bringing these, some of the guys that came in with me, and I got my little money. It wasn't a lot. Then these guys are like, hey man, you're not going with us? I said, going where? He said, we're going to the car lot to get us some cars and blah blah blah. And like I said, so it's not about committing to a program. It's about committing to some money. And that's my school. That's Texas Tech. And that it
Right.
happens. But that's the cost of doing business now.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, no, it is. It's a wholly, it's a game changer, huge game changer now with the NIL. I mean, back in the day, like you said, Coach, we were getting money. I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
Oh yeah.
we can talk about it now, but we had an
Oh yeah.
alumni. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we had an alumni that we'd go out to his branch and we
Yeah.
get out there, say, okay, do this, do that. They had us one day pick up some chicken wire, say, okay, pick up that chicken wire, take it over there and drop it off, and then
Mm-hmm.
come back. I said, okay. So we go and do that, and we go back, and I said, okay, what? No, you do it. You're good. We'll see you guys next weekend. We're like, what?
Yep. Yep. Yeah. So
We get
me,
back. Yeah, we get back to our room, and we got envelopes.
yeah, me and Anthony Lynn. So our senior year, we had a painting company. We was painting a fence. It was a cement white fence, and I think summer 2.5 3 months it took, and the fence was probably 12 to 13 feet long,
Right.
and we was making about $20 an hour, which 1991, pretty good money,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we spent realistically probably we painted that fence about 20 times over the summer. We just kept painting, just kept painting it, and we got paid. So yeah,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Now these
Free.
guys are making ridiculous money and not doing anything
Oh, not doing anything. That's
other than being
crazy.
great players. I mean, they've earned it to an extent,
Yeah.
but one of my things I always believed in, when I coached professional sports and when I was doing arena football, I didn't like paying or try to pay players extra. I like get some incentives.
Right.
Earn your money, and that's how it
Right.
should be. It's like in the NFL, go earn your money by getting incentives. When we would do appearances and different things like that, the guys that were the player of the week, you go do the appearance so you can get paid.
Right.
That's simple.
Yeah.
just
Like
like
I
Yeah.
that in
said,
I
the
mean,
NBA.
it's
yes, sir.
yeah, it is. It's a whole different ball game now, and they don't realize it. They still want to do this and do that, and it's not the same. If you're not ready for that level and put in the work, you can forget it. You're not a 5 star,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's different now. What it used to be. You
Yeah.
guys,
Wanted to
yeah,
mention to you regarding your deal that you're going to have. I was talking and we were looking. In fact, we had her on the show a couple of weeks ago, Coach Melinda Nguyen,
yeah,
the new
yeah.
head coach at
Over
UTA.
there. Yeah,
Yeah. So, and we didn't realize the season was already going to start. So, they're in season right now.
mm-hmm.
So she wasn't able to make it, but we had actually talked to a couple of people about her coming down. So we may still have on the hook, some people that are interested in helping offset some of that, that event that you guys want to do. So, let me know.
Yeah. I will. I will. I'm supposed to get back in contact with Pinnacle Sports tomorrow evening. Um, I was going to. I told them no later than tomorrow. We've been sending information back and forth, but clearly I wanted to talk to you. That's why I was making sure I got on this call to kind of announce it and make sure, because we know one of the things we talked about is obviously if you have it at a certain high school, they're going to feel like other schools don't want to come to their high school. Is what they was telling me.
Right, 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 right.
So
Well,
that's why
it could be a public entity, it could be a city.
Mhm. Yeah, because
University, Nate.
because
Yeah,
I'm not
UT.
sure again the numbers. We're basically just going to do a combine type workout.
Yeah,
We're going to get them, get a film. I'm gonna put them in my database with the grade, GPA, what grade you're going into. If you just want the basic, you know,
right,
information with these coaches watching you, or if you want me and to do the video editing as well as the college readiness part,
right,
a little bit more money, but it's worth it because now you're prepared for the next steps.
right,
Um,
right,
if you think your grade's already good and you already understand how to get into college, because some parents do, I tell them don't sign up for the stuff you don't really need it. But if you need it and you can afford it, let's make it happen because
Yeah.
That's the thing that most people don't understand. Is like it's not that complicated, but if you don't know the steps, you're lost because you don't know who to
Right.
turn to.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it happened to us in California where he lived at, Coach. Sorry to interrupt you. They
Oh, you
used to
can.
go to this community college because I come from a soccer background. I don't come from a football background.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this community college, right? I'm not gonna say the name, but the coach was just it looked to a lot of us that it was a numbers guy. As long as the kids showed up to his program, he would give him all these health classes, all these things that don't make no sense.
Yeah.
And then we had a lot of great stories where the kid was good, and you have all these universities all over him and tell him, oh well, you can't transfer because you wasted 2 years because the guy would just it was just a number thing. So Andalon, Oscar, the one that came on the first show, he was the only difference is that Andalon was very smart and he got informed. So he picked his classes, but there was one out of like 100 that knew what they were doing because a lot of our family was agriculture. They come from Mexico, their kids were talented, and they're not educated. Yeah. That's the problem we had over there.
That actually happened to me at Tech. When I was a student athlete, they were
Uh-oh.
they was trying to get me to take certain classes. I'm a education major. They trying to get me in all these health classes. I'm like, I don't. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna go see my own advisor. And it took me coming back after being out for 11 years to get my degree because all these classes that they had me taking didn't even count.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it happens. It happens, man. And so those are the things, like all those experiences I had as a player from not only myself, my teammates, but then when I start coaching, like I tried to be different for my players. Like I would explain to them, even like some of the receivers, I was very transparent. Like you'll probably have a chance to play some professional football, may not be NFL, maybe arena, blah blah blah. You may need to just go ahead and focus on your grades because you're not going to go anywhere. I would tell them that. You're good enough for here, but there's no next step for you. And all of you need to get your education because I lived it. At the end of all that playing, I had to go back to get my degree, and it was worth it. But I was embarrassed as a professional athlete when I'm out there doing my thing, and I'm like, I should have graduated a long time ago, but I didn't. It wasn't because I was not smart, but just because the way the system was designed back then. I broke my leg my senior year. I was 18 credits from graduating. I basically just rehabbed my knee and tried to get to the NFL. That spring, I did the same thing, and then I kept coming back. Every time I come back, a team would call me. I left. And so after 3 semesters of doing that, I just decided to wait till I finished playing to get my degree. Because I could have graduated way back then, but I was chasing the dream.
Yeah. No, I know how that is.
On the back end,
Coach.
I did everything on the front end.
Yeah.
I did bad on the back end.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, well, there's been a lot of us that are out there doing that. They just don't realize even when we put in all that hard work, sometimes it's just not in the cards. Yeah, it's just not in the cards. I remember my last opportunity. Yeah, I was going back and forth for 5 years, for what, 3, 4 years. And my last opportunity, I was playing with the St. Louis Gamblers, a minor league team out of St. Louis, and we had a game against the Seattle Express. We were flying up to Seattle, and Coach Tom Flores was the head coach of the Express at that time. I mean, of the Seahawks. So, a friend of ours, mutual friend, had called him and said, "Hey, I got this kid that used to play for me. He's going up to play this Express." And Coach Flores said, "Yeah, we'll send a coach over, check him out, see what we think." Well, on my way to the airport to fly out to Seattle, the water pump in my truck busted, so I missed the flight to Seattle. Yeah, and when that happened, that's an omen. Then I said, you know what, that's it. I'm done. That's when I came back home because it just wasn't in the cards, man. It just one of those things.
I
You
feel
know.
you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But hey, Coach, thank you. I appreciate your time. We'll definitely get you on again, and we'll talk some more about some of the other stuff come on. And
Yeah.
if we
That
can,
thing, I want to
yeah,
get right way.
Yes, sir. Yeah, no, let's touch base on that. We can help you get that rocket and rolling as well. Yeah, we'll do it, man, because we could definitely use it down here.
Okay, appreciate you guys.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you. Guys, we'll see you later. Take it easy.
Sponsored by the following.
Get your fix with ISN. Supported by MCR Insurance, don't stress it, Cristela protects it. Bar 37, the only place to watch your favorite sports.
Tu pasión y sabor.
The house for ISN live shows. Think big, train big, play big.